Have you ever felt trapped in a toxic situation, whether it's a dead-end job, a draining relationship, or a self-destructive habit? You know deep down that you deserve better, but something keeps holding you back from taking that first step towards freedom. Well, let me tell you straight up, the ability to walk away might just be the most powerful move you'll ever make in your life. Too often we cling to the familiar, even when it's slowly killing us inside. We convince ourselves that any change is too risky, too difficult. But the truth is, staying stuck in a soul-sucking rut is far more dangerous than embracing the unknown. In this video, you'll understand precisely the 15 reasons why the ancient Stoic philosophers considered walking away a supreme assertion of personal sovereignty. It proves you have standards. When you finally muster the courage to walk away from a toxic situation, you send an undeniable message. You have standards, boundaries, and you refuse to settle for anything less than you deserve. Whether it's leaving a disrespectful partner or quitting a dead-end job, your actions scream, "I'm not going to let you treat me like this anymore." As the great Stoic Seneca wrote, "He is a great man who has nothing left to crave except the courage to despise all else." By walking away, you demonstrate that elusive courage to turn your back on anything or anyone that corrodes your sense of self-worth. Moreover, you reaffirm that your dignity is non-negotiable. The Stoics stressed valuing yourself based on your virtuous character, not external conditions beyond your control. When you tolerate mistreatment, you inadvertently buy into the lie that you're not worthy of basic human dignity. Walking away declares the opposite. You're reclaiming your self-respect. It obliterates their power over you. Whether it's a manipulative ex, a toxic family member, or an abusive boss, some people derive perverse satisfaction from maintaining unhealthy control over you. Their sense of power comes from your willingness to remain stuck in their orbit, continually granting them undeserved leverage. Yet, as the philosopher Epictetus taught, no one is allowed to oppress another with impunity. By severing ties, you wrench away their capacity to psychologically dominate you. Their power game instantly crumbles without a willing pawn to bully. Furthermore, walking away represents steely self-mastery, supremely aligned with Stoic ideals. By removing yourself from their toxic grasp, you reclaim sovereignty over your emotional autonomy rather than allowing them to jerk you around through drama. Personal empowerment skyrockets when you deprive them of any hooks into your inner world. It forces them to face accountability. Toxic manipulators rely on denial, deflection, and obfuscation to evade taking responsibility for their corrosive behavior. As long as you remain mired in the situation, they conveniently dodge any impetus for self-reflection or growth due to your willingness to tolerate them. Yet, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." By walking away, you force these individuals into an existential moment of reckoning by robbing them of their prime rationalization, your complicity. The burden of accountability shifts onto them to grapple with their issues. Furthermore, your exit instills the singular ultimate lesson they desperately need for their own liberation. That the problems in their life trace back not to outside forces, but to their own flawed judgments and inability to master their destructive impulses. This Stoic wisdom only pierces their delusion through your definitive exit. It inspires others with your courage. When you find the fortitude to walk away from a toxic situation, your courageous actions invariably inspire others suffering similarly to reconsider their own circumstances. Like-minded people trapped on the same treadmill see you blazing a path towards freedom. The Stoics stressed not prizing external admiration, yet simultaneously acknowledged how virtuous actions can positively influence others as inspiration. As Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better person of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." Moreover, by walking away, you model conviction, integrity, and self-possession. These inspirational qualities are liable to enhance your relationships and influence those close to you in compelling ways. Some may even follow your empowering example toward living with more intention once you demonstrate that courage. It forces you into growth. Staying stuck in a toxic rut may feel relatively safe in the short term, but far riskier is the soul-decaying stagnation and atrophy that festers from endlessly deferring decisive action. As Marcus Aurelius preached, what we insistently desire over time is what shapes our destiny. By choosing to walk away boldly, You instantly catalyze active growth necessary for personal evolution. You shock yourself into motion to build new, healthier paths forward. Discomfort spurs self-discovery you'd otherwise lack navigating to. Furthermore, the Stoics considered embracing life's inevitable difficulties through resilience and grit key to fulfillment. When you summon the moxie to walk away, you harness the chrysalis of struggle to transform your mindset and trajectory. This courageous friction irons you into sculpted philosophical musculature. It reclaims your personal power. When enmeshed in toxic environments, it's shockingly easy to start internalizing the limiting beliefs, negativity, and dysfunctional dynamics swirling around you. Your sense of self-worth and power steadily erodes by osmosis until you no longer recognize yourself. As Epictetus taught, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. By walking away decisively, you disenthrall yourself from endless, fruitless struggles beyond your control. You regain power through reclaiming command over your internal world. Additionally, this singular action replenishes your self-belief that you can rise beyond your circumstances. You stop questioning your capacity to thrive outside the toxic context. The toxic voices diminish as you heal and rediscover your authentic identity. Walking away is your personal renaissance. It burns away mediocrity. Far too often, we let fear delude us into downwardly revising our standards for happiness and fulfillment over time. Settling becomes an insidious, gradual process as we rationalize compromising our values bit by bit until we accept a mediocre version of the life we deserve. Yet Seneca warned that laziness and lack of self-discipline will destroy you entirely. By refusing to tolerate anything less than what you truly want, walking away stops the slippery slope towards resigned mediocrity dead in its tracks. It replenishes healthy self-respect. Moreover, your decision reinvigorates you with the motivational fire to strive uncompromisingly towards grander goals and dreams on the horizon. It reinvigorates you with tangible reminders that you're capable of so much more than a muffled half-existence. You reclaim the driver's seat. It attracts new opportunities. Far too often, we fail to realize the degree to which staying trapped in dysfunctional patterns actively repels all the positive new relationships, jobs, and fortuitous opportunities we crave in our lives. By choosing to remain mired in toxic sludge, you subliminally broadcast to the universe you have no intention of elevating. Yet as Epictetus instructed, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Walking away strips away the inauthentic rot surrounding you to re-reveal your fundamental essence. That reinvigorated authenticity effortlessly begins attracting energies in alignment with your highest values. Furthermore, you rediscover the growth mindset and optimism critical to recognizing opportunities previously obscured by toxicity. With renewed faith that better things await, you perceive potential openings everywhere you previously couldn't or wouldn't. Walking away clears the path for abundance to flow in. It puts your mortality in perspective. At our darkest lows, when consumed by hopelessness, it's sadly easy to convince ourselves we have all the time in the world to remain trapped in unfulfilling suffering. We succumb to the delusion that one day the motivation for massive change will strike and instantly liberate us. Yet Marcus Aurelius's sobering Stoic wisdom reminds, the universe is transformation. Our life is what our thoughts make it. We have one precious finite reality to craft into purposeful living. Every moment spent languishing in toxicity constitutes a non-renewable resource, burned with no chance at regaining those souvenirs of existence. The act of walking away shakes us from that slumber by reminding us that life's hourglass has a finite number of grains remaining. It unleashes an existential wake-up call that our dwindling hours are too scant to forfeit to poisonous situations a moment longer. Like a bucket of cold water to the face, walking away shocks you into treasuring your limited mortal days. It aligns you with your values. When you remain stuck in an unfulfilling job, destructive relationship, or draining environment, you gradually lose touch with your core values and authentic sense of self. You begin compromising and conforming to dysfunctional norms until you no longer recognize the person staring back in the mirror. Walking away allows you to realign your life with the things you genuinely care about most on a profound level. The Stoics emphasized living life according to your core principles and virtues. As Epictetus said, only the educated are free. By removing yourself from a toxic situation, you free yourself to once again make choices congruent with your deepest ethical codes and priorities. It's a powerful way to reclaim your integrity when you feel it slipping. It provides cathartic release. When enmeshed in a toxic environment or draining situation, we often bottle up so much anger, resentment, and negative emotions over time as a coping mechanism. This clenched tension of having to grin and bear it steadily corrodes us mentally, physically, and emotionally, like a sort of cancer. The clean strike of walking away provides an often needed cathartic release from all that toxic psychic pressure built up. Like a spring uncoiling, the freedom of removing yourself can discharge literal years of pent-up negativity. The Stoics emphasized freedom from unhealthy passions and emotions like anger and resentment. Walking away is the ultimate expression of releasing yourself from those burdens holding you down. It builds unshakable confidence. One of the hardest things to do in life is listen to the voice inside that tells you you're worth more, rather than settling for circumstances that don't align with your highest self. When you muster the courage to walk away from a situation that's beneath you, it fortifies your sense of self-worth and personal clarity in an incredibly empowering way. You prove to yourself that you have the inner strength and resolve to take decisive, courageous actions that uphold your core values rather than compromising them. As the Stoic Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Walking away demonstrates a profound internal locus of control, the belief that you have agency over your life circumstances. This builds unshakable confidence in your ability to create a life you're proud of. It lets you start over with a clean slate. Sometimes we can get so weighed down and enmeshed in the baggage, bad memories, and accumulated negativity from a toxic situation or relationship that it clouds our perspective and ability to see a future beyond it. Walking away provides a cleansing reset, a chance to start over completely with a blank slate. When we stay stuck, all the baggage, resentments, and grievances remain attached like barnacles, impeding our progress. But walking away gives you a symbolic fresh start to rewrite your life story without any lingering detritus dragging you down. It's the closest thing we have to a true rebirth in life. The Stoics believed we should use every remaining moment of life as a renewal and fresh start. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Every day is a new life to a wise man." It develops resilience and emotional fortitude. When we walk away from difficult situations and people, it's one of the most powerful acts of resilience that gradually remolds us into a stronger, more grounded version of ourselves. The Stoics believed resilience, perseverance, and grit were among the highest virtues. The ability to endure temporary suffering while maintaining your core principles and clear-minded rationality. Each successive time you walk away from something unhealthy, it incrementally fortifies your ability to let go and emotionally deal with discomfort or setbacks in a more grounded, philosophical way. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Walking away becomes a form of weight training for our character, constantly testing and sculpting our resilience and grit through the forge of adversity. It inspires you to raise your standards. When we stay stuck in unfulfilling situations for too long, we can slowly get inured to compromising our standards for what we believe we deserve and are willing to accept from others and ourselves. It's a subtle, slippery slope, where our expectations slowly erode over time from tiny compromises. But when you finally reach your breaking point and walk away, it jolts your consciousness and resets your standards skyward once more. You regain a lucid clarity that you deserve so much more from life and won't settle for anything less going forward. As Seneca the Stoic philosopher said, "Set yourself a standard that lies within your resolve to achieve." Walking away crystallizes the decision to resolve never again settling for anything that doesn't profoundly honor your highest standards and self-worth. The willingness to walk away from toxic people, situations, and environments that fall ruinously beneath your standards represents the purest embodiment of Stoic philosophy. It demonstrates prized virtues like courage, self-discipline, equanimity, resilience, and non-conformity. It aligns you with living according to your highest principles and recenters your mortal existence back on constructive purposes before it fritters away. The momentous power of being willing to walk away gives you the ultimate freedom. releasing you from any external force's ability to corrode your integrity, self-worth, or inner peace. While the confrontation can feel intimidating, the Stoics remind us that it is the highest expression of personal liberation and reclaimed mastery over our life's path. So next time you find yourself stuck, dust off this ancient Stoic wisdom and unhesitatingly walk towards the richness you deserve to manifest. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.